Hi, friends. Welcome. Glad you could join me today for the live stream. We are going to be talking about a lot of fun things today. Let me just shift this real quick. I'm going to be more centered here. All right. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of fun things today, including things that are trending now, as far as specifically print on demand items. We're also going to be doing a live shop critique and review and some Etsy Q&A. So let me know when you hop on. Let me know you're watching. Say hi. I'm so glad to see you guys today. Let me know a couple of things. I'm interested to know when you hop on, comment and let me know. Number one, my cat's in here, by the way, if you hear something. She's in the office with me now. Okay. So let me know, number one, what your biggest bestseller is or has been on Etsy. If you've had sales on Etsy or anywhere else, any other platform that you sell, let me know what your best seller item has been. Okay, that's number one. And number two, let me know if you sell only on Etsy or do you sell on Etsy and some other platforms, maybe your own website, Shopify. Where do you sell? I'm interested to know. Maybe it's not on Etsy. Maybe it's just completely somewhere else. Are you on Amazon, eBay? Where are you? Let me know where you guys sell. I'm just interested to know, partly just because I'm curious and partly so I can kind of thinking to the future on our future content. I want to know where you guys are at, what platforms you're selling on, and also what your biggest pain points and your biggest struggles are in your small business so that I can make sure I'm addressing the things that really matter to you guys. Hi, friends who have joined. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Mallory. Thanks for hopping on. Hi, everybody. So glad to have you guys. Okay, so the first thing I did want to talk about before we hop into our shop review, we're going to be doing a live critique in just a minute, but I wanted to let you guys know. Okay, so talking about like what is currently trending, we talk about that a lot on this channel. I always preach following the trends, really staying up to date with your research, your trend research, and trying to figure out what is currently coming in as a trend, what is sort of on its way out. And one way I like to do this is, you guys know I love Printful, which is a print on demand provider. So there are a lot of different print on demand providers. I would love to get for you guys to tell me if you actually sell print on demand, if you use Printful, or if you use a different provider. I'm interested in that as well. I have only used Printful, so they're the ones I talk about the most. But they sent me this lookbook for 2021. So this is an awesome resource that I was using just to kind of flip through and look at the trending styles and the different types of products that they are saying are trending. So I can't even really fit this in the frame here. But this lookbook is just a great place to go to make sure you know what's trending. So as I was flipping through here, I noticed a couple things I wanted to bring to y'all's attention just in terms of things that are trending in 2021 and going into 2022. So at Printful, you can do 3 different types of techniques for your print on demand. You can do direct to garment printing, which is the main way that most people print on their garments for print on demand. But you can also do embroidery. Did you guys know that you can do embroidery with print on demand? So print on demand embroidery is kind of an unexplored niche at this point. Like, it's out there, but I think most people just default to the the direct to garment printing that we all see and know and love, but embroidery is an option. So that might be kind of an interesting niche to explore if you're looking to get into print on demand, and you're looking for something that's a little bit untapped and not so saturated. Embroidery is a great technique. And then they also offer the all over print, which, let me know if you guys have seen this before. This is where you have a garment with the pattern or the print all over. It's just from seam to seam. It's just completely all over. So they have examples of all of those different techniques in this lookbook, and I was really enjoying seeing how they do some of this. I'm trying to find an example for you guys. Let's see here. Especially the all over print, I feel like is so current, and it's definitely still on the rise. Okay, here's an example of I don't know if you guys can see this very well. These leggings. See the all over print? It's the same print. It's from seam to seam. Okay. And so then I also wanted to talk about some of the different products they have in this lookbook that they're saying currently are selling very well with Printful in 2021 and going into 2022. So number one is t-shirts. Of course, we all know t-shirts is like the staple of the POD industry. So, t-shirts in general are kind of a saturated niche, but if you can get into a very much more specific niche within that category, you can always do well with t-shirts. Of course, Printful is kind of known for having more premium options. So the thing is that sustainable clothing has been making a rise over the last several years and is continuing to make a rise. And so people are caring more and more about purchasing more premium pieces that are sustainable and that will be lifetime pieces that are not just going to be fads that come and go. So that's one thing that Printful is known for, is offering, of course, they have your standard, your standard pieces that you would normally expect for less expensive, but they also offer those premium pieces. So I'm loving that they have that in sweatshirts and hoodies and t-shirts. And then as far as bottoms, they have joggers, they have the all over print leggings. They have so many different options for bottoms. And then accessories, they have hats and the tote bags, duffel bags. You can do, like I saw this duffel bag in here. I want to show you guys this real quick. Where was it? Maybe it wasn't. Oh, it was a backpack. Okay, so they have this backpack with the all over print, and I loved this. How cute is that? You can choose your own print and put it on a duffel bag or a backpack or a hat. So many different cute accessories. One thing they were saying for trending patterns and styles is that they're noticing pastels and tie-dyes and yellow hues are trending. So keep that in mind when you're designing. And then also they mentioned extras, which would be things that are not necessarily clothing or accessories. So they mentioned wall art, stationery, blankets, pillows, and phone cases to be trending kind of like extras that you can actually design also on Printful. So if you're already selling on Etsy or a different platform and you want to like expand a little bit, these are really good kind of like extras that you can just throw in there with similar patterns and similar styles that are almost like add-ons for people that are maybe a little less expensive, but you can easily design them in Printful and add them to your store. So especially with the holidays coming up, they were talking about giftable items, which you guys know I talk about that a lot with seasons and holidays. So most giftable goes to mugs, posters, blankets, and postcards, which are all also available on Printful. So one thing I wanted to show you guys is the sweatshirt. So I designed this on Printful. This is, so I was interested in getting some sample products from Printful and just trying some things out, because this is actually just a Gildan sweatshirt. Okay. It's a crew neck sweatshirt. This was one of their trending items that I wanted to try and just see, like, is this actually really going to be comfortable? Y'all, this sweatshirt is probably the most comfortable sweatshirt I have ever owned. I used to have a sweatshirt several years ago that was like my default sweatshirt. Y'all let me know. Like, I'm sure somebody has to know what I'm talking about. Like that sweatshirt that you just live in, like at home, and it's your go-to sweatshirt for everything you do, or maybe a sweater. And it's maybe not the like most presentable, like the one I had and actually still wear sometimes. It has paint splotches all over it. I would paint in it. I would do everything in it because it was so comfortable. So honestly, I was curious to find, like, I've been trying actually for years to find a sweatshirt that would be similar to that one in just how like loose and thin and comfy it is, but yet still keeping you warm. And I can honestly say this Gildan sweatshirt is the one. Like, after all these years, I got this and put it on and was like, I found it. I found the sweatshirt. And so I got another one too. You guys know I love like the inspirational stuff. So I love this Steadfast. And then this is the other one that I designed on Printful. Same sweatshirt, but in white. And I am loving these. This is like the one line, graphic. And you can find these on Creative Market. You can find these types of graphics. You can buy them on Etsy, but it's like the one line, the continuous line, and you can get them, in all the different designs. So I love that. And then I also wanted to try this. I'm a Bella Canvas lover, you guys. Let me know if you're a Bella Canvas fan. They have the comfiest shirts. So I designed this shirt, and this is like a heather gray. So this I also designed on Printful, and I got this design out of their template stock. So if you're kind of a new beginner and you're trying to design something, I love that they have sort of these like graphics that you can choose from that you don't have to design yourself. You can literally just drag and drop this on the shirt. And then I wanted a certain phrase on there. And so I chose the font and I placed it on there. Super easy. And this is one of the most comfortable shirts I have ever worn. The Bella Canvas shirts just are top notch to me. So, anyway, all that to say, I wanted to show you guys those. I also made one for my daughter in the same Bella Canvas that had a wolf. So she loves wolves. And I made her one with a wolf design, but it was like that, like geometric triangles. Like it was made out of those geometric triangles and it was a wolf. And that was another one that Printful just had in their stock that I could just like literally take the design and drag and drop it. So, anyway, just wanted to show you guys those because I feel like if you're a beginner and you're looking for some kind of a little bit more simple and straightforward way to get into selling, Printful is a great place to start. And they just make it super easy to design what you want. And they have just an amazing assortment of offerings. So if you're interested, I have the link below. Everything I talk about today, I'm going to have links below for, so in the description, so y'all can click on them. Hi, Diane. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for joining, everyone. Make sure to let me know you're watching. Hey, Kimberly. Okay, so we are going to get to our shop review. I did want to mention one other exciting thing real quick first. So if you are part of our Facebook community group, or if you're following me on Instagram, you would have already seen this because I announced it yesterday. But this is a really exciting thing we're doing for the holidays. So you want to listen up because this is a chance for you guys, if you are a seller, to be featured on my channel. So what I'm doing is doing a holiday bundle box giveaway. This is going to be a giveaway that's going to happen on the YouTube channel in November. So what I'm doing right now is I am collecting, not collecting, but I'm asking for people to who want to be featured in this giveaway holiday bundle box to apply to be featured with an item from your shop. So the bundle will be made up of items from you guys. So these are handmade, top quality, handmade sellers items. And my plan is to put them all together in a bundle box and to do a video on the YouTube channel featuring every single shop that has an item in the bundle box and talking about you guys, your shops, sending people over, sending traffic to you guys, and showcasing your amazing products that will go in this giveaway. And then a winner from the YouTube channel will win the bundle box. So right now is the time when I am choosing what's going to actually be in that bundle box. So if you want one of your items to be featured, you can comment and let me know here, or you can email me, or you can comment on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram or join the Facebook community crew group page, whatever's easiest for you to get in touch with me, and give me the links to your listings that you want me to consider for the bundle box. And if you're chosen to be featured, I will get back with you by the 15th of October. So you have now until then to apply, but it's already filling up. I've already got a few people in there that have been approved. So I would say sooner rather than later. Let me know. Give me the links to your products that you want me to consider for the bundle box, and I'll get back with you. And then the only two requirements to be in that bundle box: number one, I'm looking for products that are super trendy, super quality, like high quality, good shops. So when people are coming over to your shop, it's established. You've got a really good start. Not meaning that you have to have had a lot of sales already, but just meaning that you have a professional looking shop, because I am going to be sending people over to your shop. So I want it to be high quality. I want it to be something that'll draw people in. And you have to be able to ship it to me and have it arrive here to me by the 29th of October. So that's not very long. It's less than a month. You have to be able to have it here to me by the 29th. If it's not here to me by the 29th, it won't be able to be included in the box. But if you think you meet both of those requirements and you can get it to me by the 29th, then for sure apply to be featured in that box. So super fun, super exciting. And I'm hoping that it will be something that can really showcase y'all's shops, and people will just, head over when they see the awesome products that are featured in there. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to hop into our shop review today. Hi, everybody. I'm going to hop into the shop review. We are going to do a little bit of a Q&A after I'm done with the review. So if you know you have a question for me, you can go ahead and type it in and I'll come back up to it when I'm done with the review portion, and just make sure to put 4 question marks in the front so I know that it's a question for me when I get done with the review. All right. Give me 1 second to share my screen here. Okay. So today we are going to be reviewing the shop Team Flamingo shop. So this is one of our awesome members of our Facebook group, Rachel. This is our Kate's Community Crew Facebook group. So if you're not part of that, I usually choose our shop reviews for these live streams from the Facebook group. So the link for that is in the description below if you would like to hop over and join the Facebook group. Rachel, if you're here, let me know. I would love to know if you're here watching. Okay, so this is Team Flamingo shop. I'm going to hop over and go through. The first thing we're going to go through is just kind of the main shop page, and then I'm going to click on one of the listings, and we're going to look at that specific individual listing. Okay, so the first thing I like to look at is kind of the shop as a whole. The aesthetic of it. Does it look cohesive? Does it look established? What is kind of the first impression? Okay, so as I scroll down, I always like to look for how many listings people have up. So it looks like she has 2 pages, good number of listings to make it feel full and established. She's got her logo here, and it seems like a very clear niche. We know right off the bat what she's selling. It's very specific and very clear. So first impression is pretty good. Overall, looks established, looks very clear and not confusing as far as the niche goes. Okay, one thing I do notice right off the bat is that there is no banner. So you need to have a shop banner for sure. That's the little image that goes here across the top. So I do see you have your logo, which is really cute. It goes along with your name. I'm curious as far as the name too. I wonder where this came from. Team Flamingo Shop. I usually like to see a name. Number 1, that's easy to read and pronounce, which this is. Number 2, that ties in somehow to what you offer in your shop. So I'm not really making the connection between the name Team Flamingo Shop and the pet toys. So I'm interested to know what that connection is. But we definitely need a banner up here. That would be the first thing. I do love that she has her profile picture over here. That's also important to show that there's actually a face behind the business. People like to have that personal connection and know that they are supporting an actual business. Okay, so I like to scroll down and see if there's an about section, because down here at the bottom is where your about section would be. And I see shop policies here, but there's no about section. So that would be one thing I would also recommend to add, would be the about section. You can set this up in your settings. Basically, it's just where you're going to put your story of your shop. I recommend people to put kind of the story behind how their shop started, the inspiration behind their shop. This is where you can get a little more personal and talk about your family, or whatever your inspiration is. What is your reason behind doing this? And also in your about section is a great place to be able to put your kind of an authority statement, which is what I talk about. It sounds kind of intense, but authority statement, it basically is like 1 or 2 sentences talking about why you are qualified to be offering the types of products you're offering. It's a great place to put if you have any like training that you've done to learn how to make your items, or if you have self-taught, or if you have gone through any however you learned or however you've built your business up. It's a great place to just kind of, in a friendly way, put that authority in there so people feel really confident, like, oh, she really does know what she's doing. You can also have some pictures or a video, like a scrolling kind of picture thing going on in your about page. There's a lot you can do there, but that's a great place to just kind of make that personal connection with the buyer, and also to link your social media. The about page is the only place on your Etsy shop that you can have a hyperlink for your social media. So an actual clickable link that people can go straight over to your Facebook or your Instagram, whatever you want to link there. Okay, I do like that she has her policies all filled out. We also need to make sure we have full and complete policies. Okay, just looking at this frequently asked questions. This is a great section to have. Just with, if you notice you're getting any questions over and over again from people, a lot of times how to care for their items. This is a great thing to have too. Okay, going back up to look at the shop announcement at the top. Everyone needs to definitely have a shop announcement right here at the top. This needs to be updated, fairly frequently. It doesn't have to be like every week or anything, but like I would make sure that, because it's kind of an easy thing to like put something in the shop announcement and then forget about it for like a year. And then you realize, oh, I haven't updated my announcement in like a year. So you definitely want to have an updated shop announcement. So here she says, welcome to Team Flamingo Shop. We're so thankful that you've taken the time to check out our shop. We provide quality products with great customer service. When you support Team Flamingo Shop, you're providing my amazing autistic daughter with the opportunity to learn and practice many life skills. We appreciate all of our customers. Feel free to contact us if you don't find exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so I love how this is so friendly sounding. It's very warm. It invites you in. It's very conversational. You feel like you're hearing from a real person, which is nice. I love that the word thankful is always good. People love to see that you're grateful. Quality is also a really great word because people want quality items. Customer service is a great thing to mention. So I love all of these little mentions. The only thing I might change would be the mention of your daughter. I think that's totally fine, but I think that might actually work better down in the about section when you add your about section, because I kind of feel like the about section is where you share things like this. It's where you share your more personal, like about your family or about your inspiration or the reason why you're doing what you're doing. The announcement to me is kind of a shorter spot, more for like almost promotional things. I mean, you still want it to feel very warm and friendly, but it's a great place to put like if you have any promotional codes or discounts or deals going on, or even to point people to your social media or your newsletter. Things like that to me are kind of more what should go here. Again, that's just my personal opinion. That's not like a hard and fast rule, but that would be the only thing I might change up a little bit with this shop announcement. Okay. Um, I have my notes down here, by the way, so I make sure I don't miss anything. So if y'all see me looking down. Okay. So another thing we're missing here is the featured section. So up here at the top, like right about here, is where you would normally see the top 4 featured listings for the shop. We don't have the featured section up here. So I would go ahead and you want to choose your top 4, whatever 4 listings you want to be like front and center. This is what I'm selling. This is like my best sellers. These are the most popular listings that I have. Put them right there front and center in the featured section. And the way that you can feature those listings is to go in your shop dashboard to your listings tab. And then as you're looking at your listings, they'll have a little star underneath. You just click the star to highlight it on the 4 listings that you want featured. Okay. Also, a really important section is the shop sections here. This is the way that people can easily navigate your shop. It helps organize everything. And if they don't want to just scroll through and try to like spend forever looking for one specific thing, this is where they can go to figure out how it's organized. So I always say for the shop sections, you definitely want to have sections, some kind of sections. You also want them to be simple to read, clear to read very quickly, and like as simple, clear, and like easy to navigate as possible. The more confusing and detailed you get with these, the more people are like, I'm not even trying to understand this. So overall, I think it's great to have this many sections is good for this size shop. And I think overall, these are pretty simple and clear to understand. So I think those are probably good to go. Okay, one thing you want to make sure is when you have such a specific niche like this, you want to make sure that what you're offering is still currently in demand on Etsy, by doing some trend research every now and then, just keeping up to date with number one, are these products still in demand? Do people still want them? or have they kind of gone out of style? And number two, if the product type is in demand, is my style, like, are these colors, this type of style, these combinations of styles, this size, the materials I'm using, are they what's trending and current within this niche? Or do I see a bunch of other people? Let's see, this is a snuffle ball. Do I see people, like, it seems like a lot of people are selling snuffle balls, but maybe it's like a different colors, or maybe it's different material that they're using. I'm not saying that, I haven't researched that, but I'm saying that as an example, that you always want to be staying on top of what's trending and current within your niche to make sure that you're not kind of falling behind, if that makes sense. Okay, so a couple things that I want to note looking at this page overall with the photography. So, you guys know I always talk about using natural light as opposed to artificial light. So, natural light is a great way to just have crisp and clear photos that look really fresh and airy, which is a great look for photography. The one thing I noticed, I think most of these are taken outside, which that's fine. It's a little more tricky when you're outside to find a good spot that works with the lighting. And there's a couple snags that you can get into when you're shooting outside that you may have to correct in your editing, or just be aware of before you even take the photos outside when you're like placing where you're going to set things down. So one thing is that when you're outside, if you have trees or bushes around or anything, like, take a look at this photo right here. So do you see the lighting that, like, is coming through a little bit? You can tell the trees are creating a shadow on certain parts and then letting the light through on certain parts, and it kind of looks like the light splotches. So that's one thing you have to be careful of when you're shooting outside, like under trees. So it's tricky because you don't want to be in like the bright sunlight where it's overexposed. You want to find some shade, but when you're in the shade, you can run into this if you're using trees as your shade. So you just have to be careful because you don't want these light splotches on it. Also, you have to be careful of really intense shadows. So if you're out on a sunny day, like for instance, this one, do you see the shadow is being cast in front of the product right there? Same with these down here. The shadow is behind the product on this one, but it's still a very intense dark shadow back there. So our goal is to not to have such dark, intense shadows. I won't say you can't have any shadows. I mean, I think some is fine, but you want to make sure they're not so dark and intense that they're distracting. And especially if they're in front of the product, like this one, it takes away from the product itself, and it kind of gives the product this weird lighting on certain parts. So you just want to be aware of where the sun is when you're outside and what direction it's, coming from when you're taking your photos outside, to try to minimize that shadow, which basically means it needs to be coming from the right direction, so that the shadow is, if you're going to have a shadow, that it's somewhat behind and not like in front of. So, and if the sun is shining from behind where you have the product, it's going to cast the shadow in front. So you'd never really want to put it behind, if that makes sense. It takes a little bit of trial and error to kind of play around and experiment with it a little bit and figure out what works best as far as photography. Now, I will point out that there are some of these that, like, for instance, this one, I love that it's up close. So these items that are up close are in very sharp, clear focus with the really blurry background. I love the look of that blurry background. That's called depth of field. So you have some really good depth of field when you are able to get that background blurry like that. These also have the background blurry. Um, but some of them don't. So you just want to make sure, if you're going to have something in the background, that you get some depth, some good depth of field, which means kind of the distance. The more distance you have between your item and whatever's in the background, and it also depends on if you're using a camera or your phone or what you're using. But you want to get that background as blurry as possible. Okay. um, One other thing I wanted to mention about shooting outside is that if you are in the shade, you will tend to get cooler color temperatures. So, for instance, look at these right here. These are definitely taken in the shade because you can see, I think this is a white background, but it appears kind of light blue. And the tint and the hue on the colors of the pom poms they're all kind of light blue tinted, if you notice that, as opposed to like a warmer color hue, which would be more of an orangey yellowy kind of tint. So it tends to be like that when you're taking in a shady area. Um, so that's going to have to be there's two things you can do to correct that. Number one, you can get a gray card, which if you're taking photos like on a camera, like I use a Canon camera for my photos, I have a gray card. Here, I'll show you. It's right here. Okay, so this is my gray card. Gray card. So you'll have to do a little research on this, but if you take a picture with your gray card on your camera first, and then you use that picture to set your white balance, it's a custom white balance, it will automatically shift the camera settings so that the color temperatures are fixed for wherever you are, if that makes sense. It's a little hard to explain, but I have had, like when I've been taking photos kind of in a shady spot before, it has had this kind of blue hue to it. And then after I took the picture with the gray card and set the custom white balance with that picture from the gray card, it shifts it and it makes all the whites look white instead of blue, if that makes sense. So that's one way. If you have a camera that has settings that you can change the white balance, I recommend that first. If you don't, and you're just taking pictures on your iPhone or something, some phones do have custom white balance settings. So you can kind of play around that, see for your specific phone if it has those settings to play around with and adjust. If not, you can always edit the color temperature after when you're done taking your photos in whatever editing software you're using. So I use Photoshop. I can go in there and play around with the color balance and make it warmer or cooler, whatever I want to do with the color temperature. So let me know if you have any questions on that. That's like the very basic, basic photography, like color temperature for beginners. There's a lot more that goes into it, but just in general, some good things to have in mind when you're taking photos outside. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to click over now. I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I'm going to click over and we're going to look at a specific listing here. Okay. Okay, so this is the listing we're going to look at specifically. And this is a custom snuffle ball for dogs, canine treat. We'll look at this in a minute. I want to start with the photography here. So when we're looking at the specific listing, I like to see, you have 10 photo slots that you can use as well as a video that you can put on there. I like to see how many of these photo slots people use because I recommend using as many of the 10 as you can. It's definitely not like a hard and fast rule that you have to use all 10, but as many as you can would be great. So there's 3 used here. Let's click through these. Okay. So number one, I love this. I think it's super cute. This snuffle ball. I don't even have dogs. I don't even know what a snuffle ball is. I'm assuming, like, looking at these pictures down here, that they're like, dog toys that maybe you can put a treat in or something. But it's super cute. I love the colors. I think this is a great product. As long as you've done research and assuming that it is trending and current and in demand. Okay, so as far as the photos, the first thing I would recommend, other than what we've already talked about with the shadows, I would correct that. I would fix the color temperature a little bit so it's not appearing so blue tinted. And then, okay, let's look at this ruler right here. So I understand why you have the ruler there, which I've seen people do, which is fine in listings if you're trying to show how big it is. But the general rule with anything in photography that is going across horizontally like this is that you have to make sure if it's a line that's a horizontal line, it's supposed to be horizontal, that the angle of the photo is still causing it to be horizontal. So you see how the ruler is kind of slanted down here. It seems like a little thing, but that to buyers, even subconsciously, it makes it appear less professional. So you want to make sure if you have any kind of horizontal line, whether it be a ruler, sometimes it'll be like the background, like if you have a table or a sharp line that goes across in the background, you want to make sure it is completely level and horizontal going like all the way across. You don't ever want it to be slightly like off. It just gives it a weird feel. So I think the ruler is fine. Honestly, I would probably make the main listing picture, the one without the ruler. and then use the ruler as like a secondary picture, just because I think just having the picture of the product itself would be more eye-catching and professional looking. I do love that you have the 3 different sizes here shown, which is one thing I'm gonna talk about in a minute is the variations. You have this is the listing for the large, which I recommend. This is just personal opinion. I would recommend actually having, if you have multiple sizes, to have them all as one listing and use your drop down variations, to offer like small, medium, large, or whatever sizes you have, because I feel like that will, at least for me in my experience, doing it that way offers more of a chance for that specific listing every time it makes a sale to be bumped up in the search, because we know that the more sales and the more consistent a listing is converting, the higher up in the search it will be bumped and it will be shown sooner. And so if you have, it's almost like if your large makes a sale here, it's on this listing, then your small one makes a sale on this listing. You're making consistent sales, but they're split up over several listings. Whereas if you were to compile all of those into one listing, it's almost like mega listing, like you have one listing that keeps making sales over and over. That one listing is going to rise up, and it'll show sooner in the results. So that's just my take on it. That's the results I've seen when I have kind of combined my things into one listing, with different variations, whether it be sizes or coloring options. Put as many of it, of those variations into one listing as you can. So, with that said, I would keep this picture in here and use this as like to show the different variations of sizes that you're offering. If you're going to do that with your colors, you would want to have a picture for each color option as well. I see that you have over here, add your personalization. You have choose 1 to 4 colors. Choices are red, orange, yellow, lime green, mint, light blue, dark blue, lavender. So you have them all listed out here, which is great, but then there's no pictures of each one. So it's a little confusing. I don't really know what this is a combination of. I like those colors, but I might be interested in others. But a lot of times people are not going to order different variations if they can't see what those variations look like in a photo. So whether it be, let's say you're selling, a picture frame or something, if there's different stain colors, you need to have a picture of each one, and not just a picture of each one, but labeled like this one, this is purple, this is lavender. If it was stain colors, this is oak, this is cherry, this is whatever other options you would have, like walnut. Have them with text on the graphic labeled so people know very clearly what they're looking at, what their options are for the variations. Okay. Looking at your SEO here with the title. So, with that given, if you were to make the change and put your sizes as your variations, you wouldn't need to put large here. So let's look at your other. I like that you have all your keyword phrases separated with the dash. That's important so that the algorithm knows where to separate the phrases. Now, I don't know if you're doing any trend or a keyword research or SEO research. There's a lot of different tools you can use for this, but I would definitely recommend using a tool. I use Sales Samurai, which the link for that is in the description if y'all are interested in Sales Samurai. That is the one I use to look up keyword phrases, and it'll show you, if you're not familiar with how it works, it'll show you the search volume. So that's how many times per month that specific keyword phrase. So let's say custom snuffle ball. If you type that in to Sales Samurai, it'll show you how many times a month, like the search volume for the month, how many times that specific phrase was searched on Etsy. It'll also show you the competition. So it'll show you how many listings and how many shops on Etsy are also using this as competition. So you can kind of weigh, like, is this a good keyword phrase based on, you want it to be proven to be in demand. It needs to have some good search volume, but you also don't, if possible, you don't want to choose ones that are like super high competition either, because it's going to be harder to break through and be found. So I would just do some research with these different keyword phrases to make sure each of these is actually a good keyword phrase according to the Etsy SEO. Now, if they are, assuming that they are, you want to use the same keyword phrases in your 13 tags on your listing. And you want to weave them in kind of organically and naturally into the description. So looking down here at the description, it seems like you have all of the main information that you need with some of those keyword phrases weaved in. Like we have snuffle ball. Let's see what some of the other ones were. Canine treat, dog toy, fleece dog toy. Okay, so I see treat here. But you just want to make sure that it's exactly the same. So if you say canine treat, you might want to say exactly the same thing. Weave it in down there. Now here you have personalize as its own. That's not a great keyword phrase because if you just type personalize into the Etsy search bar, this is not going to come up because everything, almost everything on Etsy is personalized. So you're going to get personalized hats and shirts and picture frames and mugs. You have to put something more specific. You could say something like personalized dog ball or personalized snuffle ball or personalized gift for dog or something like that. That is very much more specific. Just the word personalized is never, it's probably hardly ever, I won't say never. For people that are high up on the search, like there's got to be something that shows up for that, right? But it's going to be almost impossible to break through with that keyword. Choose the colors also is going to be harder to break through. So you got to think about your title almost more like what phrases can I use that a buyer that's looking for this specific item will be typing in. If someone's looking for a custom snuffle ball, they know that's what they want. They're not going to type in personalize by itself, right? They might type in personalized snuffle ball or dog treat, or they're not going to type in choose the colors by itself. They might say, choose the colors, dog ball, choose the colors or something. So you got to make sure it's specific to exactly what you're offering. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was shipping. So I know it's kind of tricky when you're thinking about offering free shipping. I always encourage people, if they can, to offer free shipping because it does help you rank in the Etsy app. And so let's see, you have cost here to ship is $8.24. I did see up here that it's free shipping if I order with something else. So I'm assuming you have the $35. Yeah, you have the free shipping guarantee when you spend $35 or more. So that's a great start. I think that's awesome to offer that. If you could, I might suggest to offer free shipping across the board, but I know it's harder with smaller items because, your pricing, you have to build that into your pricing so that you're not losing out. And then it can make it so high that you're not really competitive anymore. So I understand it's a little bit harder with, lower priced items, but you just have to look at it. If you are available to take some off of the shipping cost and just add it into the item price to have free shipping, that just looks great to a buyer. They're looking for that little free shipping icon that shows up underneath. So whatever you can do, if not, this is a great start, the $35 or more free shipping guarantee. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Let me know. Let me know if you have any questions on any of that. I haven't really been looking at the comments, but I'm going to kind of catch up now. And we can start our Q&A portion here. So let's see. If you have a question, it can be Etsy related, it can be just small business related, any kind of question, you can go ahead and put it in with the 4 question marks, and I will know that that's something you want me to address. So I'm going to scroll back up. Remember, if you want your question addressed at the top of the list, you can always give a super chat or a super sticker, and it'll highlight it in bold, and I will hop right to your question. Okay. Let's see here what we have. Okay, I'm seeing all the comments of what you guys sell. I love to see what people sell. Mallory says, biggest seller is your hand-painted nursery decor. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to see pictures of that. Have I seen your shop? You're on the Facebook group, aren't you? I feel like your name sounds familiar. Okay. Nikki says, biggest seller is definitely your dream tea. And Etsy is your main platform, and we're working on your website now. Okay, I'm interested. How many of you have your own website? This is something I'm going to be addressing in the very near future on the channel. And I'm just interested to know, number one, do you have your own website that you're selling on? Number two, if you do, who is the host of your website? Kimberly says she sells a lot of handmade twig fairy ladders, sell only on Etsy, sort of interested in Shopify. Okay, great. Good, good. Diane says she does one of a kind screen prints, thinking of doing smaller designs as print on demand. Yeah, that's awesome. Print on demand is I love print on demand because it's an easy way to start with no startup cost and you don't have to keep track of your inventory or anything. It's just very simple to start if you want to try it. Okay. Okay. Andre says, "Hey, from South Africa, is digital products good to sell on Etsy?" Okay, so digital products, yes, digital products are a top seller on Etsy for sure. More and more, even growing, faster as we're in this digital age, and everybody just wants things they can print off at home, things like that. So, yeah, digital products are great. As far as that goes, if you're kind of new to that niche, Canva is a great place to start. They have templates that you can kind of take and create to be your own thing, and you can sell that on Etsy. You can sell planner sheets or stickers or, just printable things that people can print on their own, checklists or calendars or, it's just endless. So you can be really creative with that. And for sure, those sell really well on Etsy. Oh, thank you, Kingpin. You're amazing too. Thanks for watching. Okay. Katie says, when is a good time to launch Christmas items on Etsy? Love your videos. You're such an inspiration and amazing person. Oh, thank you, Katie. You are so sweet. Y'all are too sweet. Y'all make my day with these comments. Okay. So, a good time to launch Christmas items on Etsy. It depends if you're selling more like, I'm thinking like home decor, kind of like holiday themed items for like the home that people would decorate with, or if you're selling more gifting kind of items. So if it's more like you're selling home decor, just things that people would be buying to decorate with for the holidays, that comes first. It's almost like a wave of that comes first. So if it's that type of stuff, I would go ahead and have it up now. I would try to get it up as soon as possible. People are already starting to buy for that. And if it's gifting, normally gifting happens a little later, like maybe starting in like late October, November, and it peaks kind of like in November. But with everything that's happening in the world now and a lot of the inventory shortages and stuff, a lot of people, I think this year are going to be shopping even earlier for gifting items. So I would say now for both. Like I would go ahead and get as much as you can up now. Um, and then that's not to say that you can't do like specific targeted timed launches and discounts when it gets closer to kind of give it even more of a boost. But I would not wait. I wouldn't wait any further to list things if you have them ready for Christmas or holiday items because people are doing things earlier and earlier these days. Okay. Okay, Denise, I see your question about I think you're referring to mentioning the photos of all the different color options and with the graphics is like what I mentioned in the shop review. So the photo link with the color option is kind of a relatively new thing. So I would recommend doing both. So I think people, when they're scrolling through the photos, it's good to have it as clear as possible and to have it in as many places as possible. So I personally love seeing a photo when people have like a photo. Like I recently ordered a custom sign and it had different stain color options for the frame. And so they had it with just one graphic picture with the different, which is like one line of each with a piece of wood stained in the different options. And then the graphic, the text on the graphic saying the different names of the stains. So I really personally like seeing that as one of the photos as you're scrolling through. But, now you can also have photo links to the color options as well. So I would do both, if you can. Okay, Erin says, just getting started here on Etsy. I just have over 130 items in my shop and wondering how many items to have listed to get daily sales, or is it more about SEO? So there's different opinions on this. People will probably answer this differently depending on who you're listening to. My personal opinion is that you don't have to have a certain number of items in your shop. I have probably never had over 60 at one time, maybe. I don't even have that many at this point. And I've been successful with that amount. So I've never had the strategy of like trying to like hustle, like upload every day a new thing. It's just to me that's kind of grinding for no reason. It's like work smarter, not harder, you know? So I personally think it is about SEO for sure. Number one for me is photography. Like, if you don't have good photos, if you don't have very clear and professional looking, like well done photos, nothing else really matters because I mean, I guess photography and SEO would kind of go hand in hand. They're equal in different, they serve different purposes. But photography to me is like probably the one area that people don't know about enough and haven't researched enough and don't realize that they really can level up easily with like some tips, like just, search on YouTube home photography tips or taking your own product photos at home or whatever it is. You don't have to have the best camera or the best lighting setup. You just kind of have to have some knowledge, like to know how you can set things up, whether it be in shade or in sunlight or whatever kind of lighting you're using. So to me, it's photography and then definitely SEO. Um, Taking time to do your trend research. And also, I mean, this sounds so just like basic, but it's about what type of products you're offering. Because if you're offering something that either it's not in demand and it's not selling on Etsy, or maybe it was, but it's kind of outdated now and something else has come in, you're just not going to make many sales because it's not something people are searching for. So all of those together, I think definitely outweigh just how many items you have in your shop. You can be successful with a small amount of items, I think. Okay. Mallory says, I've been working on using SEO tools for titles, but my stats for Etsy state that my shoppers aren't coming from Etsy SEO, but mostly through the Etsy app and Etsy pages. What is the difference? Okay, so honestly, I probably need to look into this a little bit more. I'm not really sure what the difference is as far as when you're looking at your analytics page between Etsy SEO and then the Etsy app and Etsy page. It's kind of a little bit confusing because, like, honestly, SEO is part of all of it, so I don't really know how they're separating those two. My first thought is that Etsy pages would maybe mean the pages like certain like people are clicking on a recommended or something on an actual Etsy page as opposed to the search. But I don't quote me on that because I probably just need to look more into that. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is in that. I do know that Etsy SEO, like having your tags and titles, having using good keyword phrases that are in high demand definitely plays into all of it. Like it's never not relevant. You know what I mean? So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by the difference in those. But I would keep doing what you need to be doing for good SEO because that will never not help. Like no matter what it is at the end of the day, having good SEO will only benefit you for sure. Thank you. KM, your family is the cutest. I think they're cute too. Thank you. I do have cute kids. Okay. Uh Did Etsy change the outside ads threshold from 12K to 10K in sales? It's always been 10K, I believe, hasn't it? Y'all comment and let me know if I'm wrong on that. I believe it's always been 10K. Like if your shop has made over 10K in sales, then the percentage goes down that you pay. I believe it's from 15% to 12%. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong on that. That's the impression that I was under. Okay, let me know if you have any other questions. I feel like I'm down at the end of the list here, so I'll give it another minute if anybody else wants to put in a question. I did want to mention while I'm waiting on that, I do have a free Etsy success guide. Have you guys heard of this? My new guide that I'm offering. If you're part of the Facebook group or Instagram, you may have already seen it and signed up for it. If not, the link is in the description below. I have been working on this guide for you guys, which is basically an easy checklist of simple, practical steps that you could take today to level up your Etsy shop. So there are things that you can easily do, like right now, if you wanted to. It goes through branding, SEO, photography, your shop layout, your marketing, social media strategy, all of that. So if you're interested in grabbing that free guide, you can sign up. The link is in the description below. And it's just, I feel like I personally like to have things that are easy, like handy checklist kind of things to, direct me where I need to go next and give me kind of bullet points as to what I can be doing to improve. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. I think it will be. Okay, let's say this is the last question here. Does the star seller badge matter more for more on Etsy search algorithm? Okay, so I think you're asking if you have the star seller badge, does that play into the algorithm? Like, are you going to be shown higher in the results? So as far as I understand it, the star seller does not have an effect on SEO ranking. It does benefit you. Obviously, when people are looking, the little star seller badge appears, and it's still pretty new right now. So I don't even know that shoppers a lot like know what it means yet. But as people get used to seeing that and know what it means, I think it will be beneficial to just have that little badge on your shop to give people confidence in purchasing from you. It's just another like social proof kind of way of saying like, the shop is established. They've gotten things out on time. They've responded to messages. They're, like you can feel safe purchasing from them. So no, it does not affect SEO ranking, but it does have an effect when people are buying from you, to feel more confident for sure. To find your shop. Yeah. No, it won't. As far as I understand it, I don't believe it helps people find you better. Like it's not SEO. So it's not going to affect or hinder, your SEO rankings. Okay, well, I think that is all. Thank you guys for hopping on. Remember, if you want to grab that free guide, click on the link below. Also, remember, if you want to be considered to be featured in the holiday bundle box that we are giving away, remember you have to have the item shipped to me by the 29th. So the process is if you have an item you want to be featured in there or several items, give me a comment on this or send me a DM on Instagram to let me know what your link is, and I will take a look at all the different product links, and I will contact you back if you've been chosen and selected to be part of that. And if you have been, then you're going to be featured in a video, a special dedicated video on the YouTube channel showing your shop. We're going to show all the products, all the shops that are part of that bundle box. Only requirements are that you go ahead and send me your links and apply with good quality items that people will be drawn to as part of the bundle. And number 2 has to be shipped to me and arrive here to me by the 29th. So if you've been selected, I'll get back with you about it. I will give you the PO box to send it to, all of the information. So we're planning on cutting the application portion of this off October 15th. So the sooner the better. It's already filling up. I already have some items in there. So let me know as soon as possible. Shoot me a message, leave a comment, what you want me to consider from your shop. I'll take a look and let you know. And then, so the 15th is the cutoff for the application to be included. The 29th is the cutoff for the items to be here to me. And then we will start rolling it out in November. It'll be a 3-week long giveaway. And then the winner will be chosen. The winner for that bundle box will be chosen at the end. So you can do both if you want. If you're a seller and you want to be included in it, you can send some items to be included and featured in the box. And you can enter once we roll it out. If you want to win the whole box, you can enter to win. So it's going to be super fun. I'm hoping it'll drive some traffic to y'all's shops and be exciting for all of us. Okay, friends, I think that is all. Drop a comment if I didn't get to your question or you want to ask me anything else, and I will see you next time. Bye.